Hi, everyone. This is Jess Alvarez-Parfrey here, Programs Director with Transition US. And I'm really excited to be spending some time this morning with my amazing coworkers.
Hi, I'm Marissa Momartz. I'm the National Network Organizer for Transition US, and I am here with Sparkles, who is part of my family's Regeneration team.
Hi, my name is Evia Cruz, Transition US Communications and Outreach Lead. Thank you, Jess, for starting us off.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to see you all. I hope you're getting some good rest and time well spent with family and eating some delicious food. And the same goes out to our network. We're here today to talk about our connection to this idea of regeneration. And for folks who may have heard of our Regeneration Nation campaign, of which we're super excited to share with you all in the new year, really unpacking this concept has been really important to us. So we wanted to start off with just kind of a organic dialogue and ask ourselves, what does it mean to make regeneration a household name? And I guess to start off, for me, it's important to recognize that the idea of making something a household name has its origins in advertising and celebrity culture. So more associated with this idea of consumption and extraction. And if we take a look at regeneration, that'd be kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. And kind of really sitting with that paradox, I think, is really enlightening, and it opens up a whole new possibility here. And I think it really connects for me again to this idea of what it means to be an American at this really pivotal moment in history for our planet, for our people, our society. And I come back to healing. I feel like regeneration and making regeneration a household name has so much and everything to do with healing. How do we heal the great divides in this country? How do we heal and grapple with the history of stolen land, of enslaved labor building this nation? So I really feel like we have tremendous opportunity here, and we're being really called to step up. And again, this is what we're really working to push forward with our Regeneration Nation campaign, is uplifting this next generation of leadership, is really honing in on those community-led solutions that have healing at the front and center of their work, and really supporting this growing regenerative communities movement and this greater ecosystem of change of which we are a part of. So that's what healing means to me, is how do I be a good American at this really complex time in history? How do we heal ourselves, and how do we imagine new vistas and new possibilities for ourselves moving forward? I'll pass it over to you, Marissa. What does making regeneration a household name mean for you?
Thank you, Jess. And I really appreciated what you shared. I'm feeling a little emotional because anytime I hear like some hope, really, some medicine for the spirit, amongst the onslaught of bad news, I get emotional. And what making Regeneration Nation, or regeneration, a household name means to me is giving people a sense of hope, balanced with practical action. And I appreciated the invitation to reflect on that. What does it mean to make it a household name? What are we giving people? What are we sharing? And that sense of hope and practical action is something that Transition is really good at. That's kind of where we shine. But the idea of regeneration takes it to another level in reflecting and communicating that we can't just focus on reducing our carbon footprint. We really need to regenerate ecosystems, and not just ecosystems, but social, cultural, and economic systems, because they're all connected. And it's so inspiring. We know that regenerating ecosystems is the best way to cool the planet. It's the simplest way. And it's also the most kind of joyful and abundant, with so many other benefits for our physical and mental health. And then there's realizing that plants and animals are partners in doing that work. And again, I think of the words of Joanna Macy from our Regenerative Community Summit that has stuck with me since then, that we are partners with a living earth. So I think that's the other piece about regeneration. It's not just about humans. It's not human centric. We're working with earth, with life on the side of biodiversity and life.
Elvia.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I think I definitely resonate with a lot of what you both said. That I'm really inspired by your words. And I think for me, it just means like the love that we have for each other, inspiring us to take more action. I think like for me, I've been able to like take a step back and like look at, okay, COVID-19 is literally just like another symptom of how badly our systems are that we have in place right now, and what can we do to make sure that we continue making new systems that are based on love and care for each other. And it also means empowering our communities to be able to heal, as Jess mentioned, in ways that we need to, especially even right now when people are physically sick from COVID-19 symptoms. How can we like be there for each other to like make sure that we, like support one another, care for one another. And it also goes beyond just making sure that we put on our masks, making sure that we stay at home when we're sick, making sure that we're just being conscious of our actions and how that affects everyone else. And like it definitely, like, just put on your mask is like a first thing, but like how can we go deeper than that? And like how can we take our like, like think about our where we're at in our lives and thinking about our positionality and how we could like help out like other groups, and like thinking about our effect on this like larger web of life. And yeah, I think just being conscious, and we're at this like very extremely pivotal point of our human history that we need to be making like drastic changes, and Regeneration Nation is a way that we could like come in as a community together and like discuss, and especially even through like different like our design lab coming together and like talking about like how we could like use our information, like our experiences, our resources, like to come together and just like be able to create a huge systemic change that is based on love and care. So I'm really excited about how we could do that.
I love that, Elvia. And speaking of love and care, I want to offer a shout out to our two other staff members who weren't able to join us for this call today. We have Dawn Hall, our executive director, who we definitely want to credit with this focus on like, how do we make Regeneration a household name? And then we have Brett Carr, who's joining our staff team in the new year as our fundraising and development lead. So we're growing. We're really feeling super excited about our team, and just how we've been growing together and growing this campaign and growing this movement.
Mhm.
And the next question for us to reflect on is like, okay, so we answered, what does making Regeneration a household name mean? How do we do it now? And going back to teamwork, I really think that, again, like Elvia mentioned, taking ownership over your positionality, really calling in your household, your neighborhood, your networks, really recognizing that we have everything we need. We have the skills, the visions, the gifts, the talents to come together and really create the systemic change and support the change work that is already happening. It's super exciting and hopeful for me. And then taking a look at some of our programs and offerings for 2022, we have an event scheduled for January 13th. We really hope that you show up for that event. I'm going to be in conversation with Samantha Wright from the Regeneration Project, and building off of Paul Hawkins' amazing decades worth of work. And we have the Regenerative Communities Design Lab, which Elvia mentioned earlier. And that space is going to be focused on uplifting youth and BIPOC leadership. We're going to be focusing in on engagement with universities as being a site of change. EcoVista, one of our amazing initiatives, is a great example of how that can do wonders for this kind of work. And yeah, there's a lot in store, but I'm going to pass it over to you, Marissa, to talk more about what you're excited about and how we do this work.
Thank you, Jess. I am really excited about our week of action that's going to be happening in October. And For years, we've heard from folks in the Transition Network that one of their greatest desires is to influence mainstream media and political discourse and just break into that conventional narrative in a big way. And I and others have dreamed of this week of action where we would come together in a coordinated way and demonstrate the breadth and the level of organization of the transition movement in the US and potentially even around the world with our partner hubs in many other countries. But we want to bring to life the vision of transition in our city centers, our main streets, our downtowns, our public spaces. We want people to be able to see, taste, feel, smell what transition is, the human element, the community building element, the regeneration, the repair, all of the beautiful things that are transition, the art, the joy, bringing it to life in our communities at the same time this fall. And then for the following years, this is going to be a 3-year campaign. So we'll grow that week of action every year, and we will get the attention of mainstream media.
I think for me, as I mentioned in our previous videos, you've all seen that, but I'm really excited again, like for Regeneration Corps. The idea is to be able to support like a recent college graduate or any other individual to like work with any transition groups or any other community groups on projects that is needed and like, you know, so led by community members. So yeah, I'm really excited about that because like given like our current, I guess, economic system, you know, a lot of people, it's harder to find like a job that's like related to like environmental, but also like pays like a living wage and makes sure that we could like, you know, be able to actually afford living in like those like big cities. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm also really excited about like like media outreach as a communications and outreach lead. I've, you know, like I'm really excited about like working and like our Instagram and like making sure that we continue engaging with a lot more people and so that they can know of the resources that is available by like if they just like join our meetings and all of that. So I'm really excited that people will be able to like know more about like what's out there through like social media platforms and also sharing other groups work and sharing like other groups what everyone is doing because we need to just continue highlighting one another. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future, honestly.
I feel excited for the future and knowing that I get to work with you all, that we get to, again, really support our network, build new partnerships, and really, again, like energize this regenerative communities movement. I think it's the greatest work of our time. And Marissa, I think you have a closing message for us.
I do. Thank you, Jess. So we have an ambitious goal of raising $100,000 by the end of 2021. So we have about 1 week left to get Regeneration Nation off on a very solid footing. That's going to support our work for the next 3 years, this initial infusion. And we have about $23,000 left to raise over the next week. So we are encouraging you to join us as a movement regenerator. That's our monthly donor circle. If you can join us in that way, there will be a link in the comments below this video, or a one-time donation, whatever works for you. If you're in a position to do so, we really, really appreciate the support. And we do a lot on a small budget. We are resourceful. We know how to use your money in the best way possible. So thank you for all of your support over the years. And we are so excited to have you join us on this Regeneration Nation journey.
To the journey ahead, 2022, here we come. All right, y'all. Thank you.